कृष्णपृष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमदे भक्तिवेदान्तस्वामिनिति नामिने नमस्ते सरस्वती देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेषशून्यवादी पाश्चात्यदेशतारिणे जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौरभक्तवृंद हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे मूकं करोति वाचालं पङ्गुं लङ्घयते गिरिं यत्कृपातमहं वन्दे श्रीगुरुदीनतारिणं परमानन्दमाधवं श्रीचैतन्यमीश्वरम्। Hare Krishna. So thank you so much devotees for joining. So we are studying Sri Bhagavad Gita chapter number 2 verse number 47. 47 is what we need to discuss today. Yesterday we discussed 46. Okay, let's go ahead. This is a very famous verse. Even maybe we would have heard this verse before also. Before coming to Krishna consciousness, generally this verse is very famous. There are a couple of verses in Bhagavad Gita which is very famous. One is Yada Yada Hi Dharmasya Glanir Bhavati Bharata. That's very famous verse. And this is another famous verse. Karmanyevati karaste ma phaleshu katachana ma karma phala heturbur mate sangusto akarmani. So let's recite. Karmanyevadi karaste. Somebody please.
Hare Krishna Prabhu. Karmanyevadhikaraste
Ma phaleshu katachana
ma phaleshu kadachana
ma karma phala heturbur
ma karma phala hedurbhur
mate sangosto karmani.
made sankosta karmani. Translation: You have a right to perform your prescribed duty, but you are not entitled to the fruits of action. Never consider yourself the cause of the result of your activities, and never be attached to not doing your duty.
Thank you. So here Krishna says, Karmani evadhikaraste. Adhikar. You have adhikar to perform your duty. Your prescribed duty as a Kshatriya, whatever duty is prescribed to you, you have the right to perform that. Karmani evadhikaraste. Ma phaleshu katachana means, okay, in the first line he says, you have the right to perform your prescribed duty. However, you are not entitled to the results of action. What does it mean? Entitled to the result of action means don't expect results from your action. Don't expect always, okay, I'm doing this, I want this, I need this. I'm doing this activity, this work for, considering or thinking that I will get this profit or I will get this benefit or I will get something, whatever. Ma phaleshu kadachana. But Krishna is saying, Ma phaleshu kadachana. You are not entitled to the results of action. Means you may get a result, you may not get. So don't think that it is always, whatever we think or whatever we desire, that will happen. Ma karma phala heturbur. Never consider, in case when we perform an activity or a work, for example, we are getting a result, or maybe we are getting a result as we expect. Okay, so in that case, ma karma phala hedurbur. Never consider yourself the cause of the results of your activities. You may get some results, but do not think that you are the cause of it. Means, oh yes, I did it. Because I did it. So we become proud. I am so skilled. I am so talented. I did it. So Krishna is saying, ma karma phala hedurbur. Never consider yourself the cause of the results. Now, last line, ma te sangosto akarmani. Never be attached to not doing your duty. So this is the fourth point. He's saying, don't get attached to not doing the duty. What is the meaning of that? Means don't give up your duty, basically. So by thinking that results are not yours, or by fearing that the results cause bondage, if you are not doing your duty, then that's a problem. So there are two things. Krishna is saying never get attached to not doing your duty. So that means by thinking that the results are not ours, or by fearing that the results will cause bondage to me. So considering these two situations, these two things, and we are saying no, I will not do the duty. Anyway, if I do also, I am not going to get the result. The result doesn't belong to me. Okay, so why should I do the duty? Second, if I am thinking that okay, if I do something, I am going to get some bondage, some karma reactions for it. Why should I do then? That is the last one. So never be attached to not doing your duty. So 4 points Krishna is saying. 4 things. You have the right to perform your duty. Second, you are not entitled to the results of the action. 3, never consider yourself the cause of the results of your activities. 4, never be attached to not doing your duty, thinking that the results are not mine, or by thinking that, or by fearing that the results will cause some bondage. So that is what Krishna is saying here. So Srila Prabhupada mentions in the purport. Srila Prabhupada ki jai, there are 3 considerations here: prescribed duties, capricious work, and inaction. Prescribed duties are activities that enjoined in terms of one's acquired modes of material nature. So prescribed duties, for example, the meaning is that one's acquired modes of material nature means, for example, sattva guna, if those sattva, rajo, tamo guna, right? According to the modes, there are some prescribed duties. For example, Brahmanas, they are predominantly in sattva guna, so their prescribed duty is basically patan and patan. Study scriptures and teach scriptures, teach Vedas. Similarly, for Kshatriyas, the predominant guna for them is passion, mode of passion. So they are doing the administration, like leaders, leadership, administration, all that is their nature. So according to the one's mode of nature, modes acquired, the prescribed duties, there are prescribed duties. So that's first category, first type of work. Second is capricious work, means actions without the sanction of authority. This is nothing but vikarma. So first prescribed duty is karma. Second capricious work is vikarma. We are now talking about Sanskrit terms. Prescribed duties means karma, means any activities according to our modes, which is again mentioned in the Shastras. We are not going against the Shastras. For example, Kshatriya, what is his duty is mentioned in the Shastras. So that is called as prescribed duties. Capricious work means it is vikarma. Vikarma means actions without the sanction of authority, or actions or activities which we are doing which are against the scriptural injunctions. That is capricious work or vikarma. Third is inaction. Inaction means not performing one's duty, not doing our duty. So this akarma, inaction, has two meanings, two contextual meanings. One of the contextual meaning is that not performing the duty is called akarma or inaction, which when it comes in English. This akarma or inaction has another meaning, but not in this context, another context. That means doing the activity but no reaction for it. How it happens? By dedicating that to Krishna. So akarma has two meanings in two different contexts. One is not at all doing the duty. Second is doing the activity, doing the duty, however dedicating the fruits of the results to Krishna. So then that action will not give any reaction. That is called as akarma. Again, that is a different context, not here. Why I said this? Because akarma we will be discussing about akarma in later context, later stages, wherein that is the meaning which is being meant. So these two meanings will be there. Like we say, karma has two meanings. Karma means, contextually, one of the context is that karma means any activity we do is karma. Karma in different contexts means any reaction from the activity is also called as karma. So we need to understand these two different context. Lord advised that Arjuna not to be inactive, but that he perform his prescribed duty without being attached to the result. One who is attached to the result of his work is also the cause of action. Thus he is the enjoyer or sufferer of the result of such actions. So Lord is advising, Krishna is advising Arjuna not to be inactive. Means don't run away from your duty. However, don't get attached to the duty also. Don't get attached to the result of what you are doing. So Krishna says, Prabhupada says, one who is attached to the result of his work is the cause of action, is also the cause of action. Means if you are attached to the work, then we will be we'll have to go through the reactions anyway. So he may be enjoying or suffering according to the results. But if you are not attached to the results, whatever is happening, no problem. Also, if you are dedicating our activity to Krishna, then there is no reaction at all. Means there is no karma for that. As prescribed duties as far as prescribed duties are concerned, they can be fitted into three subdivisions. Now, Prabhupada mentions about prescribed duties, namely routine work, emergency work, and desired activities. So, routine work performed as an obligation in terms of the scriptural injunctions without desire for the results is action in the mode of goodness. This is first thing. First category, again, just understand that no need to just understand what it is, that's all. Okay. Routine work means those are the obligations in terms of scriptural injunctions without desire for results is action in the mode of goodness. So what are the examples of that routine work? Like there are so many activities we do as an obligation, and that is mentioned in the scriptures also. So without desire for the results, this is called as routine work. Routine work in Sanskrit, it mentions Nitya karma. Then we will discuss that in different contexts and different section, by the way. So we will discuss more in detail. Anyway, for example, doing Sandhya Vandana is an obligation if you are a Brahmana. So we are doing as a matter of duty, like that. Work with results become cause of bondage. Therefore, such work is not auspicious. So any work can result in the bondage, can result in bondage. So everyone has Prabhupada says everyone has his proprietary right in regard to prescribed duties, but should act without attachment to the result. Such disinterested obligatory duties doubtlessly lead one to the path of liberation. So everybody has the right to perform the duty. However, he should act without attachment to the result. So we don't have to worry about the result. Do our duty, and whatever result is going to come, if it is positive or negative, we should not worry about it. Do our duty. That's what Krishna is saying. Such disinterested obligatory duties doubtlessly lead one to path of liberation. So in that way, if you're doing the things if we are performing our prescribed duty without attachment to the result, then that will lead to the path of liberation. Arjuna was therefore advised by the Lord to fight as a matter of duty without attachment to the result. So Krishna is advising Arjuna, you do your duty. Your prescribed duty is to fight in the battle. So you have to do. Don't think what will happen. Don't think much about the result of it. Don't get attached to the result. So Prabhupada says his non-participation in the battle is another side of attachment. So this is the last point which Krishna says. Don't get attached to not doing the duty. So Arjuna wanted to run away from the battle. So that non-participation also is another kind of attachment. Means it's like another kind of attachment means, okay, I will not do this because I may get some reaction. I will not do this because anyway the result does not belong to me. So thinking that that's a different kind of attachment, by the way. So Prabhupada says such attachment never leads one to the path of salvation, or salvation means liberation. Any attachment, positive or negative, is cause of bondage. This is what we have to remember. Any type of attachment, material attachment, positive or negative, is cause for bondage. Inaction is sinful. Inaction means without doing the duty is sinful. Therefore, fighting as a matter of duty was the only auspicious path of salvation for Arjuna. So only good and the best prescribed path for Arjuna is to fight in the battle as a matter of duty. So that is what Krishna is saying in this verse. Prabhupada says, explain the verse. Okay. Now let's continue. Number 48. Yogastha kuru karmani.
Yogastha kuru karmani.
Sangam tyaktva dhananjaya.
Sangam tyaktva dhananjaya.
Siddhi asiddhyo samo bhutva.
Siddhi asiddhya samo bhutva.
Samatvam yoga uchyate.
Samatvam yoga uchyate. Hare Krishna. Translation. Perform your duty, equipoise or Arjuna, abandoning all attachment to success or failure. Such equanimity is called yoga. Hare Krishna.
Yeah. So yogastha kuru karmani. Arjuna, perform your duty in yoga. What is the meaning of yoga? Yoga means concentrating the mind upon the Supreme Lord. This is yoga. So Krishna is saying that yogastha kuru karmani, perform your duty being situated in yoga or being in yoga, or concentrate your mind in the Supreme. Sangam tyaktva dhananjaya. O Arjuna, give up all attachment to the results. Siddhi asiddhyo samo bhutva. Be equal in success and failure. Again, Krishna is saying equanimity basically. Be equal in success or failure. Samatvam yoga uchade. Such equanimity is called yoga. So basically, real yoga means to focus, to concentrate the mind upon the Supreme Lord by controlling the senses. And that is the real yoga. And because the Supreme Lord Krishna himself is telling Arjuna to fight, Arjuna has to follow that as his dictation without worrying about the results. The same Supreme Lord is standing in front of him and telling him, then he doesn't have to think much about it. He has to do the duty. But anyway, Arjuna is, because of Arjuna, we are getting this Bhagavad Gita. Now, Srila Prabhupada mentions in the purport, Prabhupada ki jai, Krishna tells Arjuna that he should act in yoga. And what is that yoga? Yoga means to concentrate the mind upon the Supreme by controlling the ever disturbing senses. And who is the Supreme? Supreme is the Lord. And because he himself is telling Arjuna to fight, Arjuna has nothing to do with the results of the fight. So we already just mentioned now. Gain or victory are Krishna's concern. Arjuna is simply advised to act according to the dictation of Krishna. So gain and victory, we don't have to worry. That Krishna decides. We have to do our duty. That is what it is mentioned here. The following of Krishna's dictation is real yoga. And that is practiced in the process called Krishna consciousness. So what is the real yoga? Real yoga is following Krishna's instruction, following Krishna's direction. That's all. So means being in Krishna consciousness always. By Krishna consciousness only can one give up the sense of proprietorship. One has to become the servant of Krishna or the servant of Krishna. That is the right way to discharge the duty of Krishna consciousness, which alone can help one to act in yoga. So to be as the servant of the servant of the servant, that is the real, real way. I mean, that's the best way, or that is what we should identify ourselves in that way. Being the servant of Krishna, we have to do our duty, thinking about Krishna or dedicating to Krishna. Discharging duty in Krishna consciousness means dedicating that activity in Krishna, remembering Krishna and doing it. That is called real yoga. Now, Arjuna is a Kshatriya, and as such he is participating in the Varnashrama Dharma institution. It is said in the Vishnu Purana that in the Varnashrama Dharma, the whole aim is to satisfy Vishnu. So the purpose of Varnashrama is that Samsiddhir Haritoshanam. So it is mentioned in Bhagavatam also. Vishnu Purana also says, also in Bhagavatam it mentioned, the purpose of Varnashrama Dharma is to satisfy Samsiddhir Haritoshanam, to satisfy the Supreme Lord. No one should satisfy himself, as is the rule in the material world, but one should satisfy Krishna. So we should not be bothered about satisfying ourselves. In the sense, satisfying ourselves means satisfying some material satisfaction is being mentioned. We should try to satisfy Krishna. That's the real aim of life. So unless one satisfies Krishna, one cannot correctly observe the principles of Varnashrama Dharma. So unless we satisfy Krishna, we cannot say that we are following the Varnashrama Dharma. Indirectly, Arjuna was advised to act as Krishna told him. So Arjuna, he was advised to act now as Krishna is directly instructing Arjuna to to do the needful, basically. Okay, now 49. Durena hi avaram karma.
Hare Krishna. Durena hi avaram karma.
Buddhi yoga dhananjaya.
Buddhi yoga dhananjaya.
Buddho sharanam anvicha.
Buddho sharanam anvicha.
Kripana phala hetavaha.
Kripana phala hetava. O Dhananjaya, keep all abominable activities far distant by devotional service, and in that consciousness surrender on to the Lord. Those who want to enjoy the fruits of their work are misers. Hare Krishna.
So Krishna is saying that reject all abominable action. Avaram karma. What is the meaning of avaram karma here? Avaram karma is nothing but sakama karma. You remember we have discussed sakama karma from 31 to 37, I believe, that section wherein Krishna speaks about sakama karma. So what is sakama karma? We already discussed that doing some activity or action by expecting some result. So Krishna is saying that reject that. He mentioned sakama karma for Arjuna's information only. Now he is saying don't do that. However, what he has to do? Reject durena hi avaram karma, reject sakama karma. Then what he has to do? Buddhi yoga dhananjaya, and follow and do nishkama karma. That's what he is saying. You reject sakama karma and follow nishkama karma yoga. Nishkama karma yoga is nothing but, we already discussed before also, that doing our activity dedicating to Krishna and not expecting the result. That is nishkama karma. Then Krishna says, those who want to enjoy the fruits of their works are misers. Kripana phala hetava. So for example, if we want to enjoy the fruits of our own works, what we are doing, again we are talking about material results, material activities, and our desire to enjoy the fruits of the results of the activity. And such people are kripanas, means misers. What is the meaning of miser? Miser means, the general meaning of miser means we have, but we are not ready to, what to say?
Conjuice.
Conjuice. We are not ready to spend. Only accumulation only. Nothing. We are not ready to distribute, or they are called as misers. So those who are only, they want to enjoy. They don't want to think anything else other than that. They are considered to be misers. Prabhupada says in the purport, let's read. One who has actually come to understand one's constitutional position as the eternal servitor of the Lord. So what is our constitutional position? Eternal servitor of the Lord means Dasa, the servant of the Lord. That is the constitutional position of all Jivatmas. So one who understands that position gives up all engagements save working in Krishna consciousness. So if one who is understanding this constitutional position, they will not be worried about, they will be doing their activity, but again not attached to that activity, and also dedicating the activity to Krishna. So they are in Krishna consciousness always. As already explained, Buddhi Yoga means transcendental loving service to the Lord. Buddhi Yoga means Bhakti Yoga here in this context. Such devotional service is the right course of action for the living entity. So what is the right course of action for all living entities? It is Bhakti, transcendental loving service, or devotional service, or Bhakti. That is the right course of action. Only misers desire to enjoy the fruit of their own work just to further entangled in the material bondage. So misers will be, enjoying their own fruit. In the sense, only misers desire to enjoy the fruit of their work. And that will cause another bondage. That's another problem. Except for work in Krishna consciousness, all activities are abominable because they continually bind the worker to the cycle of birth and death. Except for work in Krishna consciousness. So without being in Krishna consciousness, all activities become abominable. See, what is the meaning of it? So don't think that here abominable doesn't mean that only doing something wrong or some sinful activities. Basically, any activity, if we are not remembering, if we are not dedicating to Krishna, or we are not acting in Krishna consciousness, that becomes an abominable activity. Why? Because Why abominable? Because it is creating a bondage for us, because it is bringing us to this cycle of birth and death. It is not helping us to get out of this cycle. That is why it is called abominable, not that it is a sinful activity. One should therefore never desire to be the cause of the work. Everything should be done in Krishna consciousness for the satisfaction of Krishna. So we should always dedicate our activities to Krishna. For his satisfaction we have to do the activities. Misers do not know how to utilize their assets of riches which they acquire by good fortune or by hard labor. So this is Kanjus people. They don't know how to utilize their money or whatever. One should spend all energies working in Krishna consciousness, and that will make one's life successful. So we should not be Kanjus. Here the point is not money. Here we are talking about all our energies, whatever skills, whatever energies means whatever abilities we have, whatever skill sets we have, whatever capabilities we have. Again, also our whatever senses we have, all the senses we have to use also in the work, right? So using everything in Krishna consciousness, and that will make us successful. Like misers, unfortunate persons do not employ their human energy in the service of the Lord. The misers, like misers, unfortunate people, like many people in this world, or most of the people, or majority of the people, they are utilizing their tan, man, dhan, energy, everything for their own sense gratification, and those people are called misers. They are not using it in the service of Krishna. Instead, they are using their body, they are using their mind, they are using their money, they are using their entire energy for enjoyment, sense enjoyment, but not as a service to Krishna. So such people are called as misers. That is the meaning here. Okay. From 50 onwards, 50 to 53 is another theme. So we will probably discuss in the next class. From 47 onwards, what we studied today, 3 verses, 47 to 49, basically Krishna is telling Arjuna to practice Nishkama Karma Yoga. Forget about other things. Do your work with detachment, and be equal to success and failure. Don't get attached to the results of your activity, and reject all the sakama karma, and do and perform bhakti yoga or buddhi yoga, or perform nishkama karma yoga. Means surrender, so the theme of these 3 verses is, please, Krishna is telling us, please practice nishkama karma yoga. Please dedicate all your activities to Krishna and perform. Don't expect the result. This is what Krishna says. Okay, so I am stopping here. If you have any questions or anything to discuss, let us discuss. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare.